Did you know that raising just one child to age 18 now costs the average American family over $303,000? That's according to a 2026 Lending Tree analysis. And that number doesn't even include college. If that made your stomach drop a little, you're not alone. Housing alone eats up about 29% of that total, with food and childcare close behind. But here's the good news. Where you live can swing that number by well over $100,000. So today, on Atlas Uncovered, we're going to be looking at the top 10 cheapest cities for families. Quick note before we dive in. Affordability is only one piece of the puzzle when choosing where to raise a family. So this isn't meant to be comprehensive. Schools, safety, and job markets all matter too, and we'll touch on those along the way. Rankings like these can also shift year to year as local economies change. So think of this as a strong starting point for your own research rather than the final word. As always, you're entitled to your own opinion. Number 1. Decatur, Illinois. According to U.S. News and World Report's 2025 to 2026 Best Places to Live rankings, Decatur ranks as one of the most affordable cities in the entire country, with an overall cost of living sitting at just 90% of the national average. But it's the housing numbers that really stand out. The median home value in Decatur is only about $89,855, compared to a national median home price north of $400,000. That means a family here could pay off a house for a fraction of what it costs almost anywhere else. Decatur also isn't some tiny, isolated town cut off from resources. It's a full-service city with its own hospital systems, an established public school district, and a growing local art scene. So families don't have to trade away amenities just to get that kind of price tag. Add in its central Illinois location, and families here are still only a couple of hours from Chicago or St. Louis if they need a big city fix. Number 2. Enid, Oklahoma. Enid ranks as the second most affordable city overall in U.S. News's rankings. And for families, the rent math alone makes the case. The median rent in Enid is just $647 a month. That means residents are spending only about 12.5% of their median household income on rent, well below the 30% threshold most financial experts warn against exceeding. On top of that, the median home value here is $143,305, keeping homeownership well within reach. And with public art, a professional symphony, and easy access to both Tulsa and Wichita, families aren't sacrificing much to save that money. Enid's median household income also sits around $62,000, which means a lot of families here aren't just saving on rent. They're actually keeping more of their paycheck after the bills are paid. That's a rare combination, a genuinely low cost of living paired with an income that isn't dragged down to match it. Number 3. Anniston, Alabama. If you're renting rather than buying, Anniston might be the cheapest option on this entire list. The median rent here is just $513 a month, the second lowest of any city in the U.S. News affordability rankings. Combine that with a median home value of $141,900, and you've got a city where housing costs simply aren't the burden they are almost everywhere else. Anniston also carries some serious American history, with its Freedom Riders Monument and murals preserved in the old Greyhound bus depot, giving families a place with character as well as low bills. And because such a small share of income goes toward housing here, families tend to have more room left over for savings, activities, or simply breathing easier at the end of the month. Number 4. Battle Creek, Michigan. Known as the birthplace of the cereal industry, Battle Creek might not be the first place that comes to mind for a move, but the numbers make a strong case. Median rent here sits at $703, well under the U.S. median rent of $1,127. The median home value is $138,764, nearly a third of the national average home value of $370,489. And for families with kids, there's plenty to do. Binder Park Zoo draws visitors from across the region, and the city hosts the National Cereal Festival every summer, giving families a built-in tradition without built-in expenses. Battle Creek's cost of living rank also lands well ahead of its overall livability rank, which is exactly the kind of gap bargain hunters should be looking for. Number 5. Buffalo, New York. Living in New York doesn't have to mean paying New York prices. Buffalo's cost of living runs about 31% lower than the state average, and home values here sit roughly 45% below the national average. That's a massive gap for a city that still comes with big employers like M&T Bank and Toledo Health, along with venue management giant Delaware North, headquartered right in the city. Families here also get access to the Buffalo Zoo, the Buffalo Museum of Science, and a short drive to Niagara Falls, major attractions that would cost a fortune to live near almost anywhere else in the state. There's also a diverse food scene and a strong real estate market, which means the affordability here isn't just a snapshot. It's been holding steady. Number 6. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis offers something a lot of cheap cities don't: genuine cultural weight. The cost of living here runs about 3% lower than the Tennessee average and nearly 5% below the national average. Major employers like FedEx, AutoZone, and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital keep the job market steady, which matters just as much as rent when you're raising a family. A stable local economy means fewer of the sudden layoffs that can upend a family's budget overnight. And as the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis gives families access to Graceland, the Stax Museum, and Shelby Farms Park, one of the largest urban parks in the country, all without the price tag of a major metro. For a city this size, that combination of low cost and big city culture is genuinely rare. Number 7. Fort Wayne, Indiana. According to Niche's 2026 rankings of the highest pay, lowest cost of living cities in America, Fort Wayne landed in the top 5 in the entire country. Niche economist Alison Shrivastava pointed to exactly why cities like Fort Wayne keep climbing these rankings. They offer access to diverse career opportunities alongside a genuine sense of community. And that combination is exactly what families are increasingly prioritizing over sheer city size. Fort Wayne regularly shows up on national lists for family friendliness, thanks to strong schools and accessible amenities. Families can spend weekends at the Riverfront Promenade Park, catch a Tin Caps baseball game, or wind down at Lakeside Park's Rose Garden, all on a budget that goes much further than it would in a bigger city. It's the kind of place where the affordable label doesn't come at the cost of things to actually do. Number 8. Toledo, Ohio. Toledo also cracked Niche's top 5 affordability plus income cities for 2026, and it's easy to see why once you look at the cost structure. Rounding out that top 5 alongside Fort Wayne were Toledo, El Paso, and Wichita. All cities proving that the best value in America right now isn't hiding in tiny towns. It's sitting in mid-sized cities most people overlook. Number 9. El Paso, Texas. El Paso rounded out Niche's top 5 cities in the country for pay-to-cost of living ratio in 2026, and residents seem to back that up. One current resident described the city as offering a strong sense of community and a rich blend of American and Mexican cultures. Number 10. Wichita, Kansas. Rounding out our list is Wichita, which also landed among Niche's top 5 most affordable, highest-paying cities in America for 2026. Thanks for watching Atlas Uncovered. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new adventure. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and keep uncovering the world.